Hi everyone. I wanted to give you just a quick rundown on this TurnItIn program that we use for your paper. So what this is going to do is it's going to help us look at some potential plagiarism areas. It is not a perfect system, but it's as best as we can do right now. And at least it's going to give you a heads up for areas that you can take a look at and decide if it needs to be edited or if everything is okay. So how do you know that? First of all, I'm going to show you how to get into TurnItIn in the event that you haven't used this yet. So where I'm picking up in D2L is after you submit your document. So go to the activities, go to assignments, place it into the appropriate location, just like you do any email attachment, just attach your document like you have all of your previous assignments. After it is submitted, this is what your screen is going to look like, or something similar. My view is usually just a little bit different than yours. So here is what it's going to look like. It will title your document, and then right here is where the TurnItIn score is going to be located. Right now, there's a big exclamation point because I'm not a real student, so it doesn't want me to submit anything. Yours will take a little bit of time to process, so this may not be an immediate reaction on D12's part. Sometimes it takes a little while. Do not procrastinate on this part because sometimes if it's at the height of a semester, it can take up to 48 hours for this similarity report to come back. So don't procrastinate when it comes to turning this in. Turn it in early. So what's going to happen is right here you will see a number, which is a percentage, and then a colored box. That colored box may be blue, red, yellow, green. There's a variety of different colors they use. The color doesn't matter so much as to what it is highlighting. Now, our rule of thumb, and this is a very general rule of thumb, and I'll explain it as we move on. The rule of thumb is to get that percentage as close to 5% as you can without going stir crazy. So not everybody is going to be able to get to 5%, and that's okay. And so I'm going to tell you what you need to look at and what you need to be concerned about and what you don't need to be concerned about. Okay, so how do you get into the report is you are going to click on that colored box, and that colored box will take you into the TurnItIn program. So let me switch screens here. Okay, so here is an example of what the TurnItIn program is going to look like. Again, my view looks a little bit different than your view, but hopefully it's similar enough that you can navigate and still figure out what it is showing you. All right, so here is a paper. I'm not going to show you the title page because it has the student's S number, and that would be no bueno. We don't want that. So instead, here is their page 1. You can see some of the different things that it is highlighting to show that these words are matching somebody else's words. For the most part, it will probably be your article. So right here you can see that this is a publication. If we would click on it, I'm not going to, but I have the ability to click on it and line the two up to see exactly what your document is saying, the words that you are using, and then over here pops up your actual document, and so I can literally compare word for word where your words are matching theirs. I don't think this feature is on your view, but I wanted you to see it so that you can kind of see what's going on here. All right, right over here is your overall percentage, and then we're going to do a few things before we get concerned about this 23% that's showing up right here. Okay, first of all, you see right here that this student did a quote, which is awesome. You're allowed a certain number of quotes. Check out that how-to PowerPoint, and it'll tell you exactly how many how many quotes are allowed. If you go over that, then it affects your grade, so make sure and check that out. Okay, so here is a quote, and we don't want that to be part of the match score. So what we're going to do is come to this little funnel, and then we're going to exclude quotes, which means we're going to take out all of the quotes so that it doesn't count against you on your percentage. We're also going to exclude bibliography because what it is going to do is it is going to look at your reference page, and it is going to flag this as being similar to another document. So we want to take that out so that does not hurt your overall score. You're going to apply changes, and that 23% now came down to 12%, which looks so much better. All right, let me come up here, 6543, and you can see that now that quote is no longer being flagged, which is great. Okay, here you can see number 6 corresponds with number 6, so this is a student paper. If there are any student papers, for the most part, you probably do not need to be concerned, as long as it's right around 1%. When you submit your final draft, what I will do is come in and manually look at everything. If it is a 1%, I'm not going to be concerned. What happened is that another student probably used the same article and they used the same words in their article, and I don't care about that. As long as it's 1%, that's not a big deal. What would be of concern is if there is a student paper that is 20, 30, 40 or above, then that means that you're probably using somebody else's paper, and that's not good, so don't do that. So we're going to take a look and see. Some of the things that come up when it comes to these papers is it will highlight random words. Alcohol and cognitive function. Your paper is about alcohol and cognitive function, so if that is all that is highlighting, I'm going to take that out of your overall percentage, because you obviously need to talk about alcohol and cognitive functioning if that's what your paper is about. If it is highlighting random words in a sequence and they're just small words that are not really connected, I'm not worried about that. I will take that out of your overall percentage. If it is highlighting a citation, I will take that out because you obviously need citations in your paper. So again, it's not a perfect system, but it is going to, again, here's authors, it is going to highlight some different things that you want to take a look at before you call it your final paper. Here's one where it is more of a string of words that go together, and so I'm going to click on here so that you can see here are your words, and then this is the article that the student is using, and you can see how similar it is to the original text. So that might be something that the student would want to look at and potentially change how they worded it and dig into changing the context of that sentence a little bit more. The same here, we're going to have a little bit more of chunkiness. So they're going to want to come in and take a look and see if we can rearrange some of these words. I feel like there was a bigger one. Let me find it to use as a good example. Here's one, and this is a big chunk. It is almost verbatim to the original text, and so the student definitely wants to come in and either make it a direct quote, so put the quotations around it and put in the page number and the citation to show that it is word for word from their source, or they need to take it and pull it away from the original text and put it into their own words. Okay, so again, we're going to try to get as close to 5% as we can. This paper is pretty stinking close to being okay. This paper that we've been looking at is not in danger of getting a 0 for plagiarism. That is not the concern that we're looking at here. And if you are above 5%, you may not be there. If you're closer to 40%, now we need to have a conversation and take a look at what it's flagging. And if that's where you're sitting right now, come make an appointment with me and we'll take a look. Sometimes even at 40%, you're not at danger of the big plagiarism word. So I don't want you to be afraid of it. I just want you to be aware of it, and this is a good tool to help you kind of see where you need to spend some time and give some attention and where maybe you don't. So take a look at this. Let this be kind of a guide to you. If there's anything that's chunky, go back in, try to reword it. And sometimes here's a little hint for you. It's hard to reword one sentence. So what's easier is to read maybe 2, 3 sentences, step away and retype those entire 3 sentences. So what idea is being encompassed by these 3 sentences? And pull that away, reword those 3 sentences. That's so much easier than trying to reword 8 words or 1 sentence. It's hard to redo that and still get away from the similarity in using their verbiage. So that's a little hint for you is pull out an entire idea using 2, maybe 3 sentences instead of just doing, 4 words and trying to reword 4 words. Okay, hopefully that helped. If you have questions, certainly ask me. That is what I'm here for. But hopefully that gives you some sort of an idea of this Turnitin program and how it works and how you can use it to flag some of the areas that you may want to give attention to. Okay, have a wonderful day, y'all. I'll see you soon. Bye.